get ready to be informed, engaged, and entertained as IPJ the podcast takes you on a roller coaster ride through the dark undercurrents of our world. Welcome to the revolution of unmasked truth, brought to you by the brilliant mind and unwavering passion of IPJ's Matthew Gonzalez. Now, here's Matthew.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of IPJ the podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Gonzalez, and again, we'll keep it short. I just wanted to point out something to you, and that is Mayor Paul Llanez. You see, he's a businessman, and as a businessman, he knows how to run a city.
I don't intimidate easily. I think if I can handle, gang members and things like that and serving search warrants, I don't think I'm going to have any problem with people sitting across the table from me.
Well, will you stand firm and assertively stand up for what's Los Banos?
Absolutely. My views and my goals are not going to change. I'm not going to be peer pressured into, changing objectives.
He knows how to run a city so well that, he gave away almost $2 million to Josh Pinhead Pinero because, in his words, I did a cost-benefit analysis, Llanez said. Time is more valuable than money, so to spend $1.8 million of the taxpayers' dollars to get $50 million worth of things done, $50 million worth of things done Josh Pinero has done? So, in his way of thinking, why fight when I can just give him $1.8 million of the taxpayer dollars because he's a little butthurt for being fired, which was the legal right of the council. Yeah. Mayor Llanez claims that he will fight. He's a fighter. He's been out there, fighting gangs and fighting everybody that's bad. Yet, he also let the interim director of finances rip you off every month, Los Banos City taxpayers, when he turned in his invoices with his company letterhead, which was illegal. Yes, it's a misdemeanor, even though the city attorney doesn't know that. What an idiot he is. And he never itemized what his travels were. Let's take a look. So these here, you'll see the paid invoices, and you see down here at the bottom is his travel expenses. Now, according to the city attorney, that's fine. He put his travel expenses down. What company, now this is for Mr. Llanez, what company does he run where an employee can just claim travel expenses and not itemize those expenses? I travel the state of California every day for work. I cannot purchase a single item and charge it to my company unless I have a receipt, and that's up to a certain amount of money I can charge. After that, I have to have permission to charge that. Now, when I turn in my reimbursements every week, I have to have an itemized list of everything I spent the money on, whether it was $7 to go over the bridge, whether it was $12 to buy a burrito, whether it was $150 to stay the night in a hotel. Whatever it is, I have to document every item. When I worked as a 1070, a city employee for the city of Los Angeles, I was doing public relations and helping them to reopen the Craft and Folk Art Museum on Wilshire Boulevard. Again, I had to turn in an itemized list of expenses that I had to purchase for opening the Craft and Folk Art Museum. If I took board members out to lunch, I had to state who I was with, who I had lunch with, and whose meals were whom. They wanted to know, and it was their right to know. Just like you as the taxpayer of Los Banos has the right to know where your taxpayer dollars are going and who's fighting for your taxpayer dollars. As you can see here in both the Josh Pinhead Pinero $1.8 million giveaway, plus a pay raise, plus his ability to not be able to get fired, It takes 5-0 to fire him on the board. And then you also have the fighting Mayor Llanez, who just handed over almost $60,000 in unitemized payments to this interim finance director who should have been replaced years ago. But the interim finance director seems to be playing ball with the people who are corrupting your government. And because he's willing to play ball, they need him in place. Think about it. Mayor Llanez claimed that he fights for you. Let me show you.
I don't intimidate easily. I think if I can handle, gang members and things like that and serving search warrants, I don't think I'm going to have any problem with people sitting across the table from me.
Well, he bent over and he took it in the rear with Josh Pinero for $1.8 million because he was afraid, apparently. And he also bent over and took it up the rear because he was afraid to stand up to the finance director. That's not a cop. That's a coward. And so Mayor Paul Llanez, you're a coward. And it shows. You're not a good businessman. Okay? It's obvious. You are a very poor businessman. And that's why you're the mayor of a city, so that you can get the perks that you need for your company. You're not there for the people. You're there for yourself, and you gotta go. I truly hope that the citizens of Los Banos will rally together and realize how ineffective you have been as a mayor. And I really, truly hope that they will file a petition to remove you from office. Because if you stay in office, Paul Llanez, you will continue to conduct the same cowardly leadership you have shown when Josh the Pinhead Pinero was fired and you gave him $1.8 million plus a pay raise and job security. And now it was proven that this interim finance director has ripped off the people of Los Banos to the tune at least $60,000 this year alone. And we're talking about multiple years. Because in his contract, he was not supposed to be paid for his expenses the way he was. He was paid over $26,000 in the month of September. Where were you, Paul Llanez? Why weren't you standing up saying, as an officer, as a law enforcement officer, this stinks? I want to know what's been going on with the city, with the people's money. Why is this guy allowed to charge expenses without itemizing every single expense? That's what a real cop would do, a real law enforcement officer, someone with integrity would do. But we know, Paul Llanez, you have no integrity. You're in it for the business. You need profit. You need contracts. That's why you're there. Boosting your resume. That's why you're there. Has nothing to do with the people. Because the people that you help to put in place now, they're going to return those favors to you. We know this. Not stupid, Paul. And you're acting like a complete coward right now. You don't deserve to be called a law enforcement officer. You actually should be called a corrupt crook, because that's what you are. For IPJ, the podcast, I'm Matthew Gonzalez. I really hope you enjoyed this short piece about Los Banos City Mayor Paul Llanez. It was hopefully insightful and informative, and hopefully it brings you to realize that you need to get out there and you need to start holding these people accountable, because if you are not, they are going to rip you off blind. Things are good now, but when the dominoes start to fall and you're wondering why you're having to pay even more money to pay off what they screwed up.
The voters should have had the opportunity to read the itemized list of these things that were prioritized.
Yeah, let's not wait till that happens, okay? Again, I'm Matthew Gonzalez for IPJ, the podcast. Thank you for watching this short, and give us a nice little like down below. Subscribe to our channel, and hopefully we can get corruption out of our governments once and for all. And the only way to do that, folks, is to make sure that you understand It is your voice, and you need to use it.